okay. I have strange things happening.
Too late. He just rolled the intro. You're in trouble. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. And Becky's
there.
Are you good to go? You get to see what happens
I'm
behind the scenes.
I'm as good as it gets.
Yes. Did we check lights and stuff too today?
You know what?
Or
I
did we just
forgot
turn the
my
lights on?
drink. I'm a mess.
Yeah, pretty much we just turned them on? Yeah. We are so
Okay.
professional. Anyway.
All right.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. I'm glad you're all here to join us.
Mm-hmm.
We've got lots of people tuned in live tonight. Oh, wow.
Oh, Victoria, I got some news for you, girlfriend.
Are you going to introduce Mabel?
Yeah, Mabel has stolen my apron. I was going to wear my apron tonight, and
So Danny
Mabel,
came in. Yeah,
Mabel, she's not lit up, though.
I know.
She needs to be lit.
Well, yeah, because Danny was saying, oh, Mabel did this. I'm like, who the heck is Mabel? She's like, well, I got to move Mabel to get into the closet. And I'm like, and apparently.
Oh, her mouth doesn't work.
Yeah. So anyway, Mabel is the fantastic skeleton we
I was
have.
gonna make her
I don't
talk.
know what this has to do with anything, but.
No,
Nothing, but
Well,
she's
we
got
want to give
my
a shout.
apron.
We're going to give a shout out to our interior designer,
thank you.
Danny. Thanks.
And she's got some crows
Yep.
going on here, so hide your crackers.
Hide your crackers.
Hide your crackers.
Hide your crackers. Is that a euphemism for something?
No, crows
I can never
steal
tell with you.
crackers.
Okay.
Crows steal crackers.
You and Brian play hide the crackers.
Hide the crackers. Close the button.
We're already off to a fantastic
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
All right. So anyway, shop news, classes. Check the website.
Oh, jeez.
We do have a we're doing these bags. I don't know if you can see the bags.
They can now, baby.
Yes.
We're adding another class on Saturday.
Saturday we're going to be doing these bags again because it was really successful.
It was a lot of fun. I'm
and-
going to show you mine later. 'Cause I
and-
went to class.
Yes. So
Brenda taught me how not to lollygag.
So though we're doing that class again this Saturday.
She's tough.
The other thing we got coming up that you might be interested in is we are going to also be doing a class
We
on
only
the
have
blue
4
tiles.
hours.
I know that. How many
And-
times did you tell me that?
Can we listen to shop news?
Sorry.
That's all right. No, I just want to say we are going to, if you look on the class schedule, we do have a Kimberbell blue tile class coming up, one on a Tuesday and one on a Saturday. That class is designed, you do not have to own the blue tiles to take that class.
They're right here.
The idea is that you come, you take the class, if it's something you realize that you're going to use, then you buy the tiles after the class. Because we realize that it's an investment of a couple $100 or
130.
20, yeah, it's $100 or so, and the designs are probably worth it. But we are going to do the class. If you do sign up for the class, you don't need to have the blue tiles to take the class. It's a good way to get an idea if it's something you're going to use or not.
We'll talk more about this later tonight, too.
Also, tomorrow starting at 2, tomorrow, Crafty Computing,
Is it,
It
it's
was
1.
to 3.
1 to 3. That's what I meant to say, 2.
10 seconds in.
It's a 2-hour class. But yeah, Crafty Computing for those that need some help with your computers in crafting.
Oh, then
It's basics.
It's
And it's not to say if you're in it that you're a basic person. We just understand that there's a generational gap.
Yeah.
That the demographic that is the primary quilter may not also be the same demographic that has an iPhone 13. And so we're hoping with this class to kind of bridge that gap.
It is really the basics, and just so you know, there's going to be a lot of repeat in it and
Yeah.
a lot of quizzes. Brenda, I'm going to be after you in this class.
All right.
I fully intend to break them.
Yeah, okay.
You're
But-
going to get even. That's it.
So that's pretty much all the news on. There's a few other classes. Like I said, check the website out. We got some stuff coming up. Sign up for the classes if you're interested, because if we don't have people signed up for classes, we will cancel them to make room for other classes.
Yeah, because we like having classes
Yeah,
with
we
people
want
in
to.
them.
Yeah, and if we find that
There's nobody signed up yet for blue tiles on Tuesday.
I don't believe there is.
So if it doesn't happen by tomorrow.
Yeah, if there's no sign-ups by the end of the day tomorrow, then we'll
I
probably.
We
Yeah.
will cancel
Yeah, we're going
it.
to cancel it.
We'll-
And that's just something we
If
keep
nobody
in mind.
needs to do it, we'll come up with something
Yeah,
else.
keep in mind with classes, if there's something you're interested in, sign up for it so that we keep it on the schedule, because the idea is we've got a finite number of spaces. There's lots of stuff that people want to learn, so if there's not interest in stuff, we're just moving on from it and on other
Yeah, and
things.
I got prep work for this, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to do it if no one's going to be there.
I totally understand. The other big thing for shop news is the Prairie Meadow fabric line from Northcott came in.
This is so pretty.
So this is not very exciting. This is one of the accent pieces, which is a nice blender. But I'm sure if you look at
3
it.
fat quarters makes Brenda's bag.
Here is, now see, it's got, the feathers are kind of nice. Everybody's excited about that. But these aren't all the pieces. If you go online, you'll see them all. These are, I just brought out a couple to kind of representing of the, a good representation of what the fabric looks like and the colors. And kind of the central piece is this guy here. If you'll notice there, you've got,
There he is.
there's over there. You've got like a stag and but that-
Majestic.
yeah, so that you could really do some really cool stuff with that.
Look at this too.
If you're gonna fussy cut.
This is definitely yelling.
Fussy
fussy cut.
cut or one block wonder or what do they call them? Stack and whack. So it's the coordinates are nice. The main prints are nice. It's a really beautiful line. We got the case pack. So what that means is we got everything in the line. But the reason, as from a shop owner standpoint, that you do a case pack is because you get all the fabric, but they're only half bolts. So that means if you like this, you should buy some of it. It's available online. It's $11.95 a yard. But if you do like it, pick it up because like I said, we have half bolts because I wanted the entire line because it's just such a nice line. So that's available. We haven't thrown a project together yet for it, but once that happens, it's probably going to disappear. So if it's something you're interested in, sign up sooner or buy it online sooner or later, or come into the shop and see it. It's a really beautiful. It's one of the few times that I've opened a box and everybody's like, "You bought the right stuff, Brent." So.
You finally bought a line.
Yes. Yes, they're all. Yeah, it's very rare that I actually will buy an entire line, but that was one I had to, and everybody was excited about it. So
I was
that-
just excited there was no skulls on it this time.
Well, I mean, there's technically a
No
skull
naked
inside
cowboys,
the.
so.
Nothing glowing in the
Dark.
dark.
I still love the naked cowboys because I remember when I showed that to you because I thought you'd appreciate it. And I don't. If any of you remember the Alexander Henry line of the honky tonk, I believe it was called.
Honk.
I showed it to Becky, and if you can catch from her personality, I assume that she would appreciate a fabric like that.
Yeah.
And do you remember what your criticism of that fabric was? I'm going to remind you because to this day
I'm
it
sure
makes
it
me
has
laugh.
something to do with the package.
The complaint was the package isn't big enough.
That's what she said.
I'm thinking with Wranglers, it sort of, should be more exaggerated.
We're not kid friendly on YouTube, right?
I've
Eddie?
been watching those bull riders. Have you watched that Netflix documentary about bull riders?
No.
Oh my God, it's called Fearless. Woo!
Bull riders aren't right in the head.
Oh, they're right somewhere.
I'm just saying, I went to.
They have those chaps. They put those chaps on and they saunter out, and I'm like, oh, baby, I need to give me some chaps.
Buying a pair of chaps.
Okay,
it's-
as a side note, you ever.
Lynn says I've been binge watching them cowboys.
Okay, I heard
them
this
bull
once
riders.
because they have what they call assless chaps. And
Yes,
but,
yes.
But isn't by virtue chaps are assless, so you don't
Yes.
have to say that. It's kind of a
Most of the
redundant
guys
thing.
wearing them, the package is not back there, just so you
Okay.
know. It's in,
No.
yeah. But I don't know, it exemplifies.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So we are off to an awesome start. The
Check it
only-
out, Netflix, Fearless. I've been
The-
What's
watching that.
got to do with clothing?
I don't know.
Packages and cowboys.
Yes, anyway. So,
It's his fault.
Sam, who's my nephew, if you're watching this, hopefully, because you're a cowboy.
Yeah. Does he wear chaps?
He wears boots and a hat.
And some of them put those big fringes on.
I think,
Yeah, see?
I think that's the Pride Parade you're thinking of.
No, it's not. So here's what for Halloween. You just come wearing your fringy chaps.
Nobody wants to see that. I'm sure nobody wants to see that. Anyway, the last bit of shop news. Well, I'm making a mental image of myself in chaps.
With fringes.
Yeah, with fringes. We do have some machines in stock. Just so you're all aware, some machines are going to be harder to get as we get into the holiday season. So I'm just going to let you know what we got in stock when we have it, because there's some stuff, like I said, I have a lot of stuff on order, but it's possible that I won't see any of it probably till after Thanksgiving.
Are the motherboards sitting on the container ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean?
I think the machines are, because the machines are coming across.
Where are the motherboards?
I don't know.
Victoria, you will note, I'm going to skip right to
Yeah.
it because I know she's wondering why this isn't scan and cut.
There
Not
were-
only is this scan and cut not up here, folks, neither is
The Luminaire.
Looney Tooney. She's not here. We have another beautiful machine to show off, but Looney Tooney is now in need of a new motherboard,
No,
Victoria.
it's the panel board.
Well, it's a board.
It's
It's broken,
it's
Victoria.
it's the twin to the motherboard.
Because I tried to get it to talk to the new scan and cut. Let me
You're an
tell
awesome sales pitch. for
I
that
want you
scanning
to
cut.
all know this,
My
though.
machine is broken.
Do not do what I did. What I did is I got into my user manual. Oh, the scan and cut needed an update. Okay, well, let's get that going. Then they said, oh, the Luminaire, you know what you got online, brother support. There's all, you got to download this and da-da-da. Clear instructions on how to do it. It's a machine upgrade, right? So I start that up. It goes 1, 2, 3. And I go, what? And I shut it off.
That's probably what did it.
No, I didn't shut it off immediately.
Okay.
Brent. I waited
The-
quite some time.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because that's what I want to
It
tell
got
you is
stuck.
do not shut it off until you've waited quite some time.
And what is quite some time, pray tell?
I have
I
no
went
idea.
off and did things.
I don't
What-
know.
yeah,
I would say an
okay.
hour.
Okay, well, anyway, I shut it off. I turn it back on. It comes back on in the middle of, I'm going to update for you. 1, 2, 3. So then I went, you've got to be kidding. I've seen this on the internet, guys. I've seen people complain about this.
And you thought it was all fake news, didn't you?
I just thought they were morons. So I then said I'm going to download on a USB stick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do a wireless update, and it can't read the file. It is literally in nowhere land. Brent gets on the brother support, and they say, new board.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, a new board because it burped in the middle of an update? You've got to be kidding me. So I let it rest. Victoria, do not update your machine this way. I let it rest for 24 hours. More than 24 hours.
And I ordered the board.
Came back in, still not a happy camper.
Yes.
So I'm hoping the board is not
Yeah.
on a cargo ship in the middle
I'm
of the
not- I
Pacific
haven't got
Ocean.
Confirmation on the board.
Because
yet,
the
so I don't know.
machine is virtually useless. Yes,
So
Danny.
what was this? Was it the scan and cut download?
No, it's
and
the-
other one? Or
It's just
No,
the-
you
just the
have to
update.
use, it's the update required to use the scan and cut with your
Yep.
Luminaire. So
Some-
do not do that wirelessly. I am so scared of that update right now. Until we get a spare board in-house, I'm not even trying it on another Luminaire,
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
And my thing, no,
Just want to say the technical reasons behind it. because
nobody
it-
cares about the technical reasons.
Well, I
We
want.
have a dead machine.
I know, but people are scared now.
Well, they
They're like,
ought to
"Oh,
be.
no."
The whole point is be scared.
I know, but I just want to explain why it happened so they'll understand.
Do not first of all, turn off automatic update on your Luminaires. Turn it off. Don't go there. And don't do any updates wirelessly. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Download to a USB stick and do your upgrade from a USB stick. That's what has to
Yes.
happen.
What causes it, just if you run into this, is if a update happens and the power is killed before the update's done, it can mess up the boot sequence of the machine. My suspicion in this case is that
He's going to blame me.
no,
It ain't
no,
true.
I'm going to say is that the wireless update didn't download properly, and so therefore when it went to load, it was an incomplete load, and it's got more to do with the wireless. So
I do believe it has
yes,
to do with the wireless.
and I believe that there's
Yes,
probably some
that
sort of
we agree with.
I think there's some sort of coding error, maybe specific to this update, I don't know. But a good rule of thumb right now, till we have better information,
Don't
do it off a
a
USB.
wireless
Yep,
update.
do it off a
And,
USB.
Victoria, I wouldn't even do the USB update until I know for sure I can do it. I have
Yes.
been holding patent until we get a new board.
And we'll have a new board here shortly.
Well, we don't know.
Anyway, so that was,
Yes, it is under warranty, Jean.
yes.
It is indeed.
And if it's not under warranty, just so you all know, the
Oh,
cost of the
Victoria
board.
said she did it and she's fine. Victoria, did you do it wirelessly? or did you use USB? And we're talking about the update in August, the one that just came out.
And just as a side note, the
She
cost
said
of a
she was
board,
fine.
the actual cost of the board is $439.82 if it's not under warranty.
Oh, boy.
But the good news is it's a 6-year warranty on all electronics. So if this happens in the next 6 years, it doesn't matter.
So frustrating.
So the final bit of shop news, now that we're there,
It's in
I
the
just wanted to announce that we have. I just want to announce that we have a 1400E came in on trade. That's a embroidery only 6x10 hoop, very popular. If you want to get your feet with embroidery, this is a great machine. Price on it's going to be really good. Everything we're going to do tonight will be doable on that machine because this uses the same size hoop. We also have a 1600E last year's model still left over, new in the box, and I have a Essence, a VM 5200 Essence. It does an 8x12 hoop. It's basically, I brought it in because it's at the same price point that we were able to do used Dream machines at. So I do know that there were some people, you know, that's kind of.
I've never heard of that. Essence.
It's the mid. It's the mid-level embroidery. It's not the Kill 'Em All Luminaire. Comes in at a decent price. I have one of those new. Actually, it's in the bag. It has a bag set and everything with it. So, if you are looking for an embroidery machine, I do have one new on the floor. If you're interested in. So that's all I've got for machines right now. I do have some 1350s on order and a few other things. Is when it comes in, we'll.
This is a 1700.
It is a 1700. It might still be available. I do have some people interested in it. I do have a used 1350 that I have somebody interested in. I will know by the midpoint of next week whether it's sold or not. That is a that low mileage. That's a really nice machine. So if it's not sold, you're looking for a 1350. I got a used one that's practically brand new for a real good price. That if Pam doesn't hit me back up by the end of next week.
Does the Essence have a sensor pin?
I know. You'll have to step up to the Stellaire to get the sensor pen.
Bless you.
Okay, that's all I have for shop news. So I'm going to kick it over to Becky for quiz time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Last week's show.
Mhm.
This one's easy, folks. Really easy. Fresh on my mind. Our first cut that we did with a scan and cut was on fabric, untreated, and it was a shape. What shape was it?
Missed it by that much.
Wow, great job on the soundboard.
Yeah, missed by that much. Where's my music? What shape?
What's the shape?
We need it louder.
I'm the one that.
What?
And I don't even remember the shape.
What shape did we?
Oh, I do remember the shape now.
What
'cause it was a
shape
debate.
did we try to cut out? What shape was it?
And
Flower Victoria! Yay! It was a flower,
Yes.
and it didn't cut quite correctly. But I have learned a few things, and I want to share that with them.
Okay.
That you do not need to use a fabric mat to cut with a rotary cutter.
Okay.
And the rotary cutter was not made just to cut fabric. They say you can cut any material you want with
Have
a
you
rotary
had a
cutter.
chance to cut any other material?
I have not, because to me, I wanted to talk to the Luminaire.
And we're still working on that.
So that's what I'm waiting on that. A diamond, good try, Marilyn. Wrong.
Oh, wow, that was hard.
John's
So-
right, wanted a star cell for a flower. That's exactly right.
So Victoria got it? Yes.
Victoria's the winner. Yeah, she got the flower.
Okay, so
And-
did Victoria get her box of goodness, her
She
package?
said she did.
All right.
Okay.
I still have to send you the invoice for that, Victoria. So we'll take your winnings off of that
$10
invoice.
GC for
Yes.
Victoria.
Yeah, I have
Yeah. So I am anxiously looking to the forward to the update in the Luminaire because I believe it has some goodies for all of us, not just skin cut lovers.
Yes, there was rumor of something that I can't wait
Oh
to see.
yeah, I can't wait to see it either.
Yes.
The other thing regarding the scan and cut, so rotary blade, whatever you want to use it for, mats, they said whatever mat works, that's what you need to do. When I questioned the fabric not cutting so well on the standard mat, the answer was, did you put backing on it? And I said, no, I want to cut without backing. That's what I want to see. And
Yes.
talk to my Luminaire, and I want to see a cut without backing.
And then we have a fabric mat in to try it without
Yes,
backing.
but if you always back your fabrics and you're cutting for applique,
You're in good
you
shape.
don't care. you're good to go. So
Cool.
I still have a lot of homework to do on it.
Yes.
Hopefully
But
next week.
That's the ongoing saga of the scan and cut.
Yeah.
Now,
Hopefully next week.
quilt of the week. We have lots of good stuff here. We're covering bags. So this quilt of the week is not a quilt that we quilted. This.
Did Bev finish it?
Bev
oh
finished
my
it, yeah.
Bev! Are you
So
even
Bev
on
is quilt of
tonight?
the week. Of course, the one night she's probably not watching.
Oh my God, Bev!
She was.
So the quilt itself is a pretty straightforward basic kit that we
I
do a lot
can't
of
believe
here.
you're showing this off. That is so
Well, what
beautiful.
I wanted to show
Can you
off,
show them that?
that's what I wanted to show people.
She came to my edge-to-edge class.
And so Bev went to the edge-to-edge class. Can you zoom in on that, Eddie? There we go.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you,
And
Bev.
so what Bev did is she took the knowledge that she gained
Bev,
from
you
the
want to
class.
fix this little thread right here, okay?
Oh my gosh. But all of this quilting Bev did on her dream machine.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Using an expansion pack
Yeah,
from
using-
Amelia Scott.
but it came out
Look
great.
at, I cannot,
And
I cannot, and I am staring, I cannot find beginning and end.
Yeah.
And she was so nervous. She was so nervous. She had never even put a quilt sandwich together.
I know. She did a fantastic
so we put
job.
the quilt sandwich together and figured out where to start, and off she went.
So that was quilt of the week. Like I said, the quilt itself is pretty straightforward. Just a real simple kind of panel quilt, which is kind
She
of fun.
kept saying, I'm in over my head, I'm in over
But
my head. I'm like,
the quilting
no,
on
you
it
can
was,
do this.
is fantastic, and that's
It
why I want.
really
And
is.
that's why, and I want to show it off as quilt of the week because these are the things you learn when you come to class.
Oh, that's so beautifully
And
done.
because she quilted it, we did, and I can't give her free quilting on it. So she, like Christine of last week, will get a $50 gift certificate.
Whoa!
Yes.
Yay, Bev! I'm
quilt of the
proud
week.
of you.
I mean,
Boy, that
admittedly,
Brenda,
she-
didn't that come out beautiful?
did.
That's her first one.
And I love the fact like she
She's been
watches like
working
every
on
week
it.
except this week.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah, Bev.
Yep.
I'm sorry you're not on to see that. That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
So that's the quilt of the week.
Do
Back-
they consider Wonder underbacking? That's that fusible stuff, right?
Yeah, Wonder
Yes,
under-
they do.
Yeah, because it's going to stiffen it up a little
Yeah,
bit. That's
or
really
a heat
neat.
and bond, or
There's all sorts of stuff.
yeah.
Any of that adhesive stuff
Yes,
is going to
that's
be.
what they consider backing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wonder Under anything because what any of that stuff is going to do is going to make it just a little bit stiffer. Because one of the problems we're running into just in our first test cut is how it would lift. And by
Right.
putting any of that stuff on the back, it'll adhere better and stay stiffer, which should alleviate the
Right.
problem.
So we got a lot of tests to do. It'll
Yes.
be fun. Okay.
Turbo tip.
Okay. Now, I shared this turbo tip with the people in class, edge-to-edge class, and I think it makes a world of a difference. Do you mind if I come over there to just show it with the machine? Because one of the things that we did in the edge-to-edge class is, when we could, we used magnetic hoops. And what I have them do is keep the bottom of their magnetic hoop on their machine. We don't pick up the quilt and move it back and forth. We leave this on the machine. And one of the things that we pretend this is a quilt, even though it's not today. One of the things we do is there are all sorts of alignment things that we use to align it, but we guesstimate the middle of it. And then you want to put the top hoop on. And when you put the top hoop on, whether you're doing this way, which on the small machines is kind of hard, or you're doing it this way, I mean, it just, by the time you get it on there, the thing is like this again, and you're like, ah! So, Becky, and you've got to use the smiley clips.
Smiley clips.
No other clips will work. They have to be clips with little smile faces.
Do they have to be smile faces?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Show off these little smiley
See the
faces.
little smiley faces on there? Look at that giant gorilla hand holding that up.
Just to keep the clips happy.
Happy clips. This is what I call it. It only
But what
works
if-
with happy clips, guys.
But what if they're sad clips?
Then it won't work. It won't work. It has to be a happy clip.
Has to be happy.
And look, you can see right through the little happy
Yeah.
faces. They cut right out, so they're
Yeah.
fun
See?
Why do you have to have the happy with
because they're cuter.
not because we're not magnets?
No.
I think so.
So you're saying a regular binding clip might work?
Don't rain on my parade. Look at what I do with my happy clip. One there. This is a very small hoop. our hoops were way over here, but one
That
here.
looks so small, we need a happy clip.
Look at what that does. It holds my fabric. Now when I go and I put my magnetic hoop in, I have, well, this is still movement because it's not
Yeah.
a quilt, but I have less movement. And I can leave those, what are you doing over there? I can leave the clips on, or what I can do is take them off. So my turbo tip is get some happy clips. Comes off,
And away you go.
and it's much easier to load your magnetic hoops.
Nice.
I mean, night and day easier, especially working on bigger quilts. And- So that's my tip. Happy clips, and seriously, they don't have to be happy, but I like that they are. Metal ones though, because the magnets
Yeah.
will stick right to them.
Yeah.
That's why you can leave them on there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're thrilled with that, I know.
That was
but I
that's
like
it's a
it.
good it's a good trick tip.
It
Yeah,
is for loading. It is for loading. It is. Get my little
Am I allowed to
hoopy
do
on.
that anymore? Is that
Probably
wrong?
not.
I don't know.
Probably not.
I mean, it wasn't. Okay, so that brings us to workbench.
I'm missing my board. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
It's all right. Okay, the workbench today, we're just all about embroidery today because today we had a little bit of an issue in one of the pattern layouts. One was putting something down and she's like, why doesn't this fit? It says it's 11.8 or 11.76 and it's supposed to be a 8 by 12 hoop. And I knew something then, but I wanted to double check my math before I committed to explaining this. And so I'm going to explain it to you all today. We live in America, so we use freedom units. All the hoops are designed
Inches, people, inches.
inches. You know, the system of the free world. But anyway, the machines are made in Japan, and like the rest of the world, except for us, the redheaded stepchild of the world, they're in millimeters. And so what you've got a lot of times is when you're looking at a hoop, for example, an 8 by 12 hoop, is not really 8 by 12. It's actually 200 millimeters by 300 millimeters. And for all of you that are on your Googles right now and you're like millimeter inches, which I do that a lot because, you know, some of my dumb
this is my
projects, I need to
binding.
know the conversions. 200 millimeters by 300 millimeters is not 8 by 12, as you would assume because you're calling it an 8 by 12 hoop. It's actually 7.9 inches by 11.8 inches. A hair smaller. But that hair is significant if you have a pattern that is 11 3/4 inches tall. Because you think, well, I got a 1/4 inch, so I got a little bit of wiggle room in the hoop, right?
No, but you said it was a 6 by 10 hoop?
No, an 8 by 12 hoop.
Oh, an 8 by 12.
Yeah, an 8 by 12
Oh,
hoop.
I lost you.
Okay. No, so you've got an 8 by 12 hoop and you have a
It's
pattern.
math. I hate math.
Yeah, but if you have an 8 by 12 hoop and you have, in the case when I was working with Wilma, the design itself was 11 and just a little over 11 and a half. So we assumed you had a 1/4 inch top and bottom to work with.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You don't, because 300 millimeters is really 11.8 inches. That's a full quarter, almost a full 1/4 inch smaller than 12.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just saying this is something to consider. This is something to consider when you're looking at designs and you have your machine turned on to inches, because an 8 by 12 hoop is not 8 by 12. Conversely, 6 by 10 hoop is 160 millimeters by 260 millimeters.
Yeah, I write on my hoops.
Yeah. Which is not 6 by 10. Do you know what that
No.
comes out to? 6 1/4 by 10 1/4.
Right, but if,
So you actually have a full 1/4 inch bigger than 6 by 10.
right, but so you always go 6 by 10.
Yeah, 6 by 10. But this isn't universal. Some, like an 8 by 12 is not over 8 by 12, is actually a little less,
Yeah.
whereas a 6 by 10 is a little over.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point this out in the workbench kind of tech tip of the week type thing.
Well-
is keep that in mind, is that what your
Funny you should mention
what your hoop actually says for a size may not act. Now, most of these sizes are pretty universal. So if you have a designer that designs something for an 8 by 12, they really designed it for a 300 or a 200 by 300 millimeter hoop. So you shouldn't have to worry about those
that.
designs.
Right here, Henry. Funny you should mention that.
Oh, really?
Yes, because Kimberbell, in their blue tiles, this is the user manual that comes with the package, for one of the first things they want you to do is actually get your hoops out and identify really what size fits in each of your hoops. And fill in this little chart, because not all hoops are created equal. a Bernina
Mm-hmm.
6x10 hoop can be different than a Brother 6x10 hoop.
Yeah.
All for the same reasoning, that the embroidery field is not necessarily it isn't the
Yeah.
size of the hoop. So they have you go through an exercise where you actually map your hoops
Yeah.
to what size design you can use in it.
And a lot of this, you can actually find that if you're good with your Google Foo, you can find this online.
Well, all I do is write it right on my hoop
Yeah.
with a sharpie.
But it's something to keep in mind that a 6x10 hoop is not a 6x10, a 5x7 is not a 5x7.
Nope.
Because
Nope.
most of them were also originally done in millimeters, so the conversion
Yeah.
doesn't come
That's
straight across.
exactly what they said to do. Look up your hoop on like the Brother website, if it's a
Yeah.
Brother machine, and write down the maximum field size of your embroidery,
Yep.
and fill that in this little chart, so that you don't have a Wilma.
Yes. No, we got it to work, but it was just it was a
Yeah,
very, it was a
I would have
very-
just shrunk it down a tad.
Yeah, it was a
So,
very tight
good to go.
fit, and it didn't seem like it should have been that tight because, like I
Yeah.
said, the pattern was 7.5. Was
Interesting.
11 and a half, and
That's
he's like,
one
well, I
of
got a
the-
12-inch hoop, so
That's
why?
one of the things that is happening with blue tiles.
So that's that's
Yeah.
the mighty workbench. Now with all that
Yeah.
funness,
Yeah.
without any more ado,
Oh, there's
we're
a
going
lot
to turn the
of
time
there.
over to Becky for
Yeah,
this
I don't.
awesomeness we have tonight.
Oh my God!
We got a half
I'm-
hour to fill.
oh yeah, I'm just so overwhelmed right now. I have like 10 zings going.
Did I use too many numbers?
No, I didn't
Okay.
listen to you at all.
Okay.
So I'm good to go. I'm going back in time to Brenda's class because I struggle following directions. My brain.
You give them so well.
I know. And when somebody else tells me what to do, I'm like, really? That's how I have to do this?
tell me what to do.
No, I did it, Brenda. Did I do it, Brenda?
You did it.
I did. Here's my bag. But I got to tell you, I learned a lot in that class, not necessarily about bag making. She did not scare me off. I have since made another bag to perfect some of the things I didn't like making about this bag. And yes, we even have a third one going because I got some more ideas
And just
on
as
how
a
to
just
make
a
them
shout
better.
out, these are the kits for the 2 bags that you can make in
Yes,
Saturday's class.
Yes, they're cute.
These 2 here.
Right.
Okay.
But what Brenda does is say to you, okay, now quilt those pieces together. And I'm like, what do you mean? And everybody's got this stitch in these
I have
colors,
never seen Brenda go like that.
And they're going 100 miles an hour on the machine. And I'm like, I am not just going to stick this beautiful fabric underneath my sewing machine and go I said, I can't do that. That's not okay.
The shock and horror.
So I started drawing lines on my fabric. So
Everybody was done doing
no, there were whoopsie-doodles. I started drawing lines. But meanwhile, Brenda's like, you better get going or you're not going to finish. And I'm like, I don't want to just. She goes, Becky, it's only to stick the fabric together. Doesn't matter what it looks like. And I'm like, well, okay, so I'm not going to do this kind of quilting, which, by the way, I wanted to do. But she was hounding me so much that I couldn't see that beautiful quilting on this bag. Eddie, see that beautiful quilting I did on this bag? That's when Brenda.
How is that any worse than the quilting on
That's
this bag?
when Brenda wasn't standing over my shoulder.
Yeah,
Okay. This is me not having enough time to do what I really wanted to do, because Brenda was harping on me to get it done.
And just in case you watching don't realize it,
Yeah.
that quilting is centered on that panel around the fussy cut.
Yes, it is.
I'm just going to throw
And
that
it-
out there.
And it would look a lot better if they was tighter together. But I had to cut it in half to get done.
I think it looks
Also,
fantastic.
I got a little, I said I want my quilting here to be, something different, see? And then I wanted my top to be something different, see that?
And to be clear, you will not do this in your class on Saturday.
Well,
unless
not
you-
with Brenda's permission, you won't.
Okay, but show them mine.
I will, because yours is beautiful.
And
This is Brenda's, and it's freehand, and it's.
That's just right?
It's a zhuzh. I just cannot do that.
Okay, but look,
And it's beautiful.
it's crisscross, but she changed her stick setting.
Well,
That's
see,
all she did. You
No, she didn't. No, hers aren't all completely even, okay? If you want me to really point it out, I will. See this? I can't deal. I can't deal. And she literally in class. Now this is very pretty. See, peeps, it's very pretty. Okay.
I don't understand. Yeah,
But they're freehand.
They're not 1 inch apart.
No, they're not.
this is
They're
the
not.
difference between a Vera Bradley and a knockoff right here.
Bingo!
So, yeah, they're definitely beautiful, but I can't go like that. It's not in my DNA. I did finish in time.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Barely. Everybody
was
was
3
gone
o'clock.
like 2 hours.
Everybody
I was
was
close
gone.
to being done on time.
And I had no participation. I had to go to the fair, so I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, so anyway, I then got home, and like I said, I quilted this by drawing more lines, and then realized, of course, that I could have used my sensor pen to just mark a laser 1 inch away and not draw lines. But hey, now I will. But meanwhile, I had fun drawing lines and following them. Brenda said she doesn't draw lines because you can't sew a straight line. That's what she told me.
Then I don't feel bad.
No, but then I said, oh, I have blue tiles.
I mean, see, Victoria's already catching on. She's like, I'll put it in the hoop and quilt it. And I'm like, yeah.
No, Jean, it was a 4-hour class, and I finished my bag.
In 8 hours.
No, but then I said, oh, I'm making another one, and we fussy cut the panel, and I quilted it with blue tiles.
Isn't that nice?
It
But
is.
that's the difference between
look at the
2
back.
hours and 8 hours, Becky.
Notice this bag is in
Yeah.
pieces. But I love it. I love it.
Very
And one of the
pretty.
things, too, that we're going to...
We're going to talk about
Yeah.
why I love the blue tiles for especially little things like this. It's so easy.
Yeah, because if you ever do any of the by Annie's patterns, the first step is to always quilt your softest stable between your 2 layers of fabric. That is
Yeah.
always the first step. So
And if you're in
and if-
Brenda's class, she'll
yeah.
tell you just douche it.
and if you
Zoosh it.
and you can pre-quilt it. So
Right, you can pre-quilt it before you
come to
my
class. Yes. But so quilting with your machine to do this works for all the by Annie stuff. Just want to throw
Oh,
that out there.
definitely.
It's not specific to
And-
this bag. It's
And the
it's
blue tiles is hands down easy peasy for this kind of thing because the start and stops are embedded within the design. You cannot see them. They don't exist. You cannot tell me where that started and stopped.
You are correct. I have no idea.
Exactly. So they're perfect for this kind of thing. The other thing, and Brenda, I'm going to throw you under the bus one more time.
Oh, good.
She has
Being under the bus.
in this class. I like putting the zipper in wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I thought, phew, now the hard stuff is over, the quilting, the zipper. She goes, where do you do the rounded corners, Becky? Because there's this straight piece that has to go all the way around, and they all have this fluffinetta in the middle. So we're sitting there with these wonder clips. Thank gosh I had them.
So not the smiley clips.
No, these things. And we're clipping it, I'm putting my clips on like this, going all the way around, and they literally are touching one another like this, So because you've got your 1/4-inch foot on and it stops, your machine stops here because this big clip is there. So it's like the clip is actually in the way.
I can't believe you didn't glue it.
Well, the first thing I discovered about Wonder Clips, my friends, is they have little markings on the back. Did y'all know that?
I thought that's
And
why
what-
people bought them.
Why didn't know that? And Brenda didn't teach it either. If you
There's actually a
we're
knock.
selling a 1/4-inch seam. I don't need to be sticking my clip that far in.
The knockoff Wonder Clips actually have a better marking on them.
I only have to put my clip in there. And guess what? It's a whole lot easier to get around that corner if you're not coming in really like that. So, yeah.
Oh,
I
Bev
learned.
just showed up, just to let you know, Bev, you have quilt of the week.
I learned Wonder, and you missed me oohing and ahhing it, Bev. It's such a
get-
beautiful job. Was she in this class? No, okay. So I
She's already
learned
done
about the
several.
clips have a measuring stick on the back side, but they still were a pain in the neck to get around the corners. So I said to Brenda, I'm going to find a better way. You know I am, and I did.
So do you have to put the clips on before or after you sew it on? Is that like
Before you sew it on,
Oh,
and then you
okay.
got to turn it over and do it again.
Well, why don't you sew it on with your fusible?
I tried my
thread?
fusible thread.
Okay.
Wasn't strong enough to hold all these layers together. It's not strong enough for that, but this is. And it's wash away. So what happens is, and I actually put it on the straight piece, right? And it's 1/4 inch. Yep, double-sided wash away tape. Yes?
I was just thinking
It's
that.
hard
Yes.
to-
I didn't do it on that one.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, so where you put it, like, show us where you're talking about, where you clipped it, where you.
See now.
You can't show us yours.
This is my better one.
Show us down.
That's the first one. Brenda didn't have us bind the inside.
I was gonna say if you're doing this like how I think it.
Time.
Take hers away.
I bound the inside of this one.
You can't.
This one I did not use the Wonder Tape on.
But that's what I'm.
And I
Show
ended up
where?
and I ended up having to rip out corners and redoing
A
them.
lot.
No, not a lot. We said a lot.
2 hours worth?
I did have to. But here's what I did on the next one.
I think that
This string-
the zigzag stitch is a valid alternative.
Oh, what, after you put it together, you mean,
Oh, yeah.
instead of binding it. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But
okay,
I was
so,
trying to learn
So
my
you're talking
binding
about
technique.
clipping it before we bind it. This is just to sew these together.
Yeah. So you clip them, but here, this piece is a straight, this is a loop.
See, I was
at
thinking
this
you were talking
point.
about binding. Oh, now you're getting into a whole yeah.
This
okay.
is a loop. So what I ended up doing is I take this loop, pretend this is my loop, and I put my Wonder Tape, my wash away Wonder Tape, I put it on the straight edge of my loop. And it's double-sided tape, so after you pull it off, this is sticky. So then you can just line it up with this guy and go just like this, right around the corner like that. And
Was
there's,
it strong enough or did you
Yeah.
still have to do?
no,
Really?
no, and it's no clips to remove, no clips to get in the way of my machine, and it sat right there, and the beauty is it's wash away, so on this bag, I love my corners on this bag, just saying. One of my corners had a little bit of it showing. I think I got rid of it. You just squirt water on it and it goes away.
Kind of like a cat.
Oh, there it is. No, there, see that?
Yeah.
That's the tape showing.
So you could lick it and it would go away too.
Maybe. I'm not licking that bag. It's been around the clock. So, those of you
around the block.
who can't finish a bag in 4 hours. But I think we all struggled with the corners. So even if you just use this on the corners, and Brenda's got this down, so she doesn't need any of this stuff. But some of us do. Some of us do. She can just zip them out. She's like, "Bleh."
I know, they
And
look
I'm-
fantastic.
I know, but I couldn't. You saw mine. It was, well, I had to remove corners. So anyway, if you're a bag maker, this is now something we should have in the shop.
We probably had a million rolls of it, if it's what I think it is.
Wash away
No,
Wonder
that's-
Tape. It's 1/4
We never
inch.
had wash away.
Oh, we didn't have wash
You
away?
could
Okay.
even use it to put the zipper in. I mean, you can use this
Oh, yeah.
so many places. It's very inexpensive and it holds pretty good. And
Okay.
it washes away. So to me,
It doesn't get.
it changed my life.
Did it gunk
Nice.
up your needle?
Not at all.
Oh, good.
Think about it, it's only 1/4 inch and I'm supposed to be sewing a 1/4 inch, so I'm not really going into it.
Well, some of us can't
Unless you
sew
have a
straight
scant
line.
1/4 inch.
Just saying.
Well, I did actually, afterwards Brenda teaches us to go scant before we zigzag it to flatten the seam down, so I did go scant too. But anyway, it's a product I really like.
No, I worked.
We're doing it again this Saturday. go like grass drag with my husband.
That's
Going to
right.
what?
The grass drag.
So anyway, now I don't even know which bag is mine, Brenda.
Really? Or yours?
Oh, yeah, I do.
The one that has the quilting centered on the panel.
So speaking of that,
Yes.
one of the things we had to do was fussy cut our things out. And Brenda had us cut it out oversized before we quilted it. And then because the quilting makes it shrink down a little bit. And I'm just going to say there was somebody in class who, well, she gave up fussy cutting it and ended up doing a solid side because she kept cutting it off.
Is that person
And
in the
once
room right
again, no.
Oh.
And we love her. And she made me laugh. I said, we got more fabric. Oh, no, I'm not doing it again. She was like, I'm done. But guess what the blue tiles do?
They fussy cut it for you?
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's say I said, oh, I'm going to make a panel. I'm going to do like 6 by 8. Say, I'm doing a 6 by 8. When I took these out, yeah, do the stack. When I took my tiles out,
I am the staff.
Brenda, you're going to love this. Okay, let's pretend I did an 8 by 10. Keep in mind, this is not the expansion pack, guys. I'm finding more and more uses for these tiles. It's crazy. I want to show you something.
You notice she just keeps talking?
I do. I wanted to show you.
Unless it was her joke. Yeah.
That might be true. I want you to see on the essential set block, right? These two things, not the expansions. These right. There we go. These guys right here. That's how many blue tiles you get in the first set. The essential borders and the essential blocks. And by the way, something else I learned: borders are black ink on them, blocks have blue ink on them. And when you go online to Kimber Bell, you will see they have been very busy. There are hundreds of designs for these blue tiles. They have gone back and redone all this stuff. Orange on site means they don't have it in blue tile yet. Blue means it is in blue tile. Black means it's a border.
Does it also mean we have to revise them?
No, you do not. They are allowing you to re-download. They're all free
I wish people
updates.
could see, like,
Free updates,
every time
Danny.
Danny asks a question, she raises her hand.
I know. And I'm supposed to repeat it. Questions. Danny wanted to know if she had to rebuy designs she already bought. The answer is no. They are allowing you to download the blue tiles for any designs you've already purchased. So, based on a smaller machine, I want you to know that on a smaller machine, it doesn't rule you out of this, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's
because
why
there are so many sizes available. But now, automatically I have a fussy cut. I got home and I went, hey, if she tells me to size it to 8 by 10 when I'm going to quilt it, right? And I want to look at it. You can see through it. Can we have a top down on my big mess here? You can see through this, and you can go, oh yeah, where's my heart? Can you see what I'm doing?
Yeah, you're just lining up the...
And it also became where I was drawing to put my quilted on.
Now, will that work though? Because if we're doing this on a 6 by 10 and
Well-
that's an 8 by 10, so would you have to use a smaller tile or can you?
I would use a smaller tile, because he only goes to 6 by 10,
6
right?
by 10, yes.
So the problem is there's so many tiles. See how borders in black? I wanted to show that. Oop, down here. Oop, up there, down there. See how it says border in black?
Yep.
That's why I know it's a border. See border in black? So I have to sort them. I made a big mess.
Kind of like a lady in red.
That's a black one. So you can usually tell. Where's my blocks, Brent? See how that's in blue?
I'm thinking your blocks are probably
Finished
under that
block.
mess right there.
Oh yeah, they're there. Okay, 6 by 8 finished block.
Okay.
All right? So, I mean, for me, I knew you can see the blue. Can you see the blue lines on there from when I was playing with my?
Yes, I can see the blue lines.
Yeah, that's from this.
Okay.
See, I know I wanted a blue line to go through my heart. See that? So I lined
You
this
go
up with.
overhead.
Sorry, Eddie. Let me get some of this crap out of here. So I wanted my
I wasn't
heart
sure if he was snapping on us was all.
on that blue line. See how that becomes my center?
Yeah.
Now, after I'm all done, I don't remember what I lined up the other lines with. I can't see them now. Oh, the bed of the machine, I think. I think it went like that when I was first quilting it. I don't remember now, but it was something like that. Anyway, when I draw those blue lines, then later when I go to cut it,
Yeah.
when Brenda says, okay, now cut it to 9.5 by 6.5, I got my blue lines already there.
So you know where the center's at.
I do. I do. It also gave me my quilting instructions. So how did I do this? First of all, I didn't do it on that machine, but I could do it on that machine.
Yeah, and we wanted to, and tonight we're going to show you, we're going to kind of run through real quick on this machine,
Yes.
because this is the new 1700E, which does the 6x10 hoop. So if you have a 1400E or 1600E, you should be able to do this without a problem.
Right. Now, when I had this already fussy cut, this piece itself would be too big to just fit in the hoop like that. So I probably would have kept these as the bigger pieces, so I had room to hoop it like this. I
Yep.
wouldn't have pre-cut them. The trick is to just put a long enough back underneath it so you can still hoop the back. I don't care if I haven't hooped the front or the stuffing, but I do care if I hoop the back. So, you got a magnetic hoop here. There is a trick to using the magnetic hoops with
Oh wait,
these blue tiles.
is that your hoop or our hoop?
That's your hoop.
Wait, okay.
The
Yes,
truth
we
is,
have a
I-
6x10 hoop.
Okay, give me the back first, please. I want to show you what I do in my hoop, though. After I put this in, I'm going to show you. These are small, so you can easily move these safely back and forth to the machine. This isn't like the big quilts we did. Okay. What I did on my hoop, just so you know, and I recommend everybody does it for the magnetic hoop. See these lines? That represents the center of where my machine is going to start stitching. How do I figure that out? I put a piece of interfacing in there, stick it on the machine, and do a crosshair stitch. And if you come to our classes, we give those out, if you don't have them. Then every hoop, you put that, you load that crosshair design, I think it's on the stick too if you want to
Yep.
show it, Brent. That will automatically tell you where the center of your hoop is going to be. And so if you have a magnetic hoop, you've got to draw those in. That's about the only thing you
wanna
need
go
to,
this-
the only thing you need to draw. If I have no reference point like this, it becomes very difficult to put my blue tile where I want it to be. If you are using a regular hoop,
So that's the crosshair stitch right there.
yeah. If you're using a regular hoop like this on your machines, and by the way, blue tiles will work even with a 5x7 hoop, so
Yep.
you can even go smaller. But if you're working with this size hoop, you will have these markings right here represent where the center of your design should be. So you have those to line up. If you're a beginner, I would recommend this, just because if you're not used to lining up your hoops, but you could use Becky's magic clips.
The smiley clip?
Yeah,
They're magic.
yeah, they're magic now.
Oh, okay.
You could actually clip those before you took this to your machine.
You could.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, all right. So starters, this is easier with the blue tiles
Yeah.
until you get these all marked. This one isn't marked. We're going to pretend it is though. Okay.
Okay.
So we know, Brenda. I don't know what size. Remind me
For what?
for this.
Oh, it wasn't a 6.5 by 8.5?
Yeah, I can't remember, but that's all right. We'll make it up as we go.
Okay.
What's the beauty of this? Oh, here's a 6x10. The beauty of these tiles is if I needed to combine two,
Move
I-
up a little more. To,
oh gosh, I got too much stuff in the way.
I'll take the- out of the way.
I could easily add more of these blocks. If I said I needed to fill this whole section in, I should be more organized, Brent.
No, it's not. Don't want to get away with it.
For as much as people are paying to watch this, they're gonna get what they get.
Anyway, you can then add, is
I
this,
got a free tile.
no, give that back. See how this one is like I need my glasses. Okay, well anyway, you can add tiles. I don't want to give my whole class away.
That's fine.
You can
Just-
add
yeah.
tiles, but
Yeah.
let's say we're just quilting right here, right? And let's pretend we know where our center is on this hoop,
Yep.
because I haven't marked your hoop, and I don't know who's going to buy it. So what they have you do is they just go, oh, I'm going to show you another trick I learned too. They just have you mark, this is the top of your design, these are the sides. So what am I doing? I'm drawing the crosshair on the fabric. That's all I'm doing. I'm drawing the crosshairs. And then you can write the size, but I don't bother with that. So what? That's where the center of my design goes,
Okay.
right? Now, and you can do this all over the place. Let's say you have one of these. Was a huge light bulb for me.
Yeah, and this is the
I'm
the
sorry,
pen.
but this
and,
just-
and you'll notice
just-
you took that out of a package.
Yeah, never
That-
used.
To understand how often these got used, that's probably from a trade-in that somebody brought in and never actually opened this
Let's
thing up.
load up Swirls 6x10. I'm going to show you
Yep.
some of them.
Wait, I thought you were showing it. Nobody saw what it was.
Oh, I am.
Oh.
Oh, that perhaps the foot's a little low.
She didn't show
Oh, you know what? I'll
get
let
it.
you hire that. Is it all the way up, Brent? And we need thread in there too,
Yeah.
actually. These are sensor pens. They come on several machines. What they allow you to do, this machine doesn't have a sensor pen, which I wish it had, because then I would be like all over it. Oh, thank you. What you do is when you're in edit mode, your second edit screen, okay, on the Dream Machine and the Weaver, there's a picture of a little pen. You click the little pen, and then the screen says, okay, click the center of your pattern. Oh, wait, I just drew a blue dot. Ding. Okay, step 2, stitch a straight line in the direction of the top of your pattern. Oh, I have that drawn too. Ding. Oh, wait, you hooked it crooked? No worries, we'll fix it for you. And it's done. So, Karen,
What? I'm watching.
you need to use this pen. It's a magic.
Okay.
And it'll do this even if it's totally cockeyed. You basically touch the middle, touch anywhere on the line, and bada bing, bada boom, the machine recalculates your orientation. Did you know that?
I didn't get
Yeah,
all
but I
that.
haven't used it.
Oh my gosh. With the blue tiles, people, if you have a Dream Machine, a Luminaire, a Weaver, it's the way to go. If you don't have that, you got to be careful about hooping them straight. You just do.
So, do you like it better than the stickers? Or do you use
For blue tiles, I do. And here's why. Edge to edge, when I'm doing edge to edge with Amelia, once I make my template and put my sticker on there, that template is used again and again and again and again. I don't have to reuse another snowman. He's on there and he stays on there. With blue tiles, if I were to use a snowman, I would have to stick the snowman on here, take it off. Next hooping, put it back on, take it off, put it back on, take it off. With this, all I got to do is go point, point, done. So for blue tiles, this is the way I would recommend going. These are in your machine already.
Talking about the blue tile.
Oh, well, come to class, you'll get a discount. Okay,
Okay.
so,
Oh, I'm loading up. Do I
and
need
we
to-
have thread in it too?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do
good.
I need crosshairs or are we good?
We don't, but I wanted them to see,
The
do you want to
crosshairs.
stitch it, just to see if I got it right? Yeah, go ahead, stitch it. Let's see how close I am.
Okay. So we're gonna stitch the crosshair.
Which is
Right
fine.
on.
I would stitch a crosshair on a piece of stabilizer before I quilted anything with a brand new magnetic hoop. And
Just-
that would give me my orientation lines.
You
'Cause-
can find them at all.
Yes, and then hoop it accordingly. And this crosshair is in a lot of Kimberbell patterns too. It's not a secret. So you might have it and you don't even know you have it. And I do it for every hoop I own. I want to know where
That was easy.
the crosshairs are.
That was the one.
What?
I don't know. I've never seen this before.
Not enough available memory to save the pen. That we don't want to save it. We just want to stitch it. Oh no! I'll-
We're just making awesome.
All I have on there is a few quilting designs. Not even all of
But there's
them.
nothing on the machine.
What's that?
Not enough available on.
Okay, so well,
Or on?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Stolo, hi Stolo, hiding in the dark. I see ya.
Who's that?
Well, that might be a relative.
Yeah, I thought so. They
Stolo?
said that was easy butter.
So while you're fiddling with that, I want to say something else. Aha moment that came during my bad class. Aren't you glad you let me in?
I am, because you came up with all these great
I
ideas.
just
That's
thought.
not what you said when she left.
You're not supposed to tell everything you know, Danny.
When we're looking at the directions, okay, we did not do binding in class, but Becky wanted to get better at binding because the next bag we make, I hope, has binding on the outside, and I don't want to be like stumbling it during that class. So I got reading her preparing of binding, and I went, hey, that's almost the way we did continuous bias binding with a fat quarter. Almost, except she has us cut all the strips and sew them together individually. And I said, self, actually went down. I said self. She has you cut a 14-inch square, right? And then she has us cut it in half, edge to edge. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
The bias.
Yeah.
Remember we did
On the
this?
bias.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember we did this? Oh, I forgot my rotary cutter.
yeah.
So we cut it down here. Oh, and I have another tip on continuous binding. Label your sides. Thank you. For instance, this is square because she told me to make it square. Over here you'll see I have a number 1. Over here I wrote a number 1. That's so I remember which these two are going to get sewn together. Up here I have a number 2, and down here I have a number 2 because that's my second seam. These two go together. Yeah, it really, remember when I had to have a man with a belt for knowing how to put my bias together, my binding together? Well, I have to have a 1 and a 2.
Man with a belt.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of stuff done, doesn't he?
He does. So we cut corner to corner. This is no different than what we did when we were showing continuous binding.
Wait, I guess. I'm sorry.
Piece of crap.
You should know better when you come here.
I'm used to finer things in life.
Well, did that one come out of the classroom?
No.
I don't have enough
Came off
pressure on it.
Danny's table.
There. Okay. Remember we did this? No? Ring a bell? And then we turned it into a parallelogram?
What class am I supposed to be remembering?
Continuous bias binding.
Yeah, we did this as a, yeah,
You did it as a.
yeah.
Yeah. So I know I need to put number 1. This is my update it with number 1. Oh yeah. Right sides together. Oh, that's not right. That's number 2. See? Now I know. I got it. 1 to 1.
Oh, that makes no sense.
Doesn't that make sense? Yeah, I like that little ticket. And then we stitched along here, right? Which she has you do. And then we press it open, which she has us do. And then she opens it up like this. And we're not going to do it because we don't have a sewing machine. And then she has you start cutting 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4. Well, what we did with continuous binding is we didn't cut it yet. We drew our 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/4. We drew lines. And then after the lines were drawn, we took side 2 and we matched it to side 2. And we shifted it over by 1 tail.
Yeah, it was too complicated.
No! If you write the 1 and 2, it's so much easier. And we sewed, so then we sewed those 2 sides together and we have a funky loop. And then we just had those 2 seams, pressed it open, and cut it apart with scissors. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
So we're just, it's like the same thing, only take this, Brent, sew this together. No, I'm kidding. And then put, now though, 2 with 2. See how much easier that is with the numbers?
It does make more sense with the numbers.
You have to have the numbers. So 2 with 2, these are sewed together, and then you go cut, 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 cut. Yeah, well, I asked Danny to do a demonstration tonight because she said she has an easier way to make continuous bias binding.
I will show you, and then you can show everybody
and she refused to show us.
All right, your crosshairs are off a little bit, but that's probably because I moved it a lot, moving things around.
Okay, well, bottom line is that's what crosshairs do. Then I would have used these crosshairs to draw on my
Yep.
mat for the first time. Then on my frame.
Yeah, because if you
Now
stitch
I've
that
got
on
my
a,
reference.
yeah, if you stitch that on a piece of stabilizer.
Yeah, then
Yep.
I take it out of the
Okay.
machine and I just take my ruler and I go like this. Now all of a sudden my magnetic hoop has reference lines.
Okay,
So that's easy,
yeah.
all right?
Now what?
Load up,
Can you go to the-
swirls.
Eddie, can you go to this camera for a second, make sure?
Load up swirls, 6 by, I'm gonna use this to line up the hoop after your
Okay.
crosshairs anyway, so we can show you on the next, it's really the next hooping that makes it come to life.
That's not what I wanted to do. So border swirls,
No, swirls,
swirls.
and now, no, scroll down. Okay, one of those is probably it.
That's a 5, that's like a 7 by.
6 by 8.
6 by 8.
Yeah.
Is that what I told you?
I don't know. I think so, yeah.
I didn't write it down, and I should have.
You did that little,
This is what we're gonna use.
but so that little slot in the thing that says write the
That's where you
size,
write
that's
6,
where you
8.
write, okay.
Yeah, that's where you write 6, 8.
Okay. So now we're just gonna stitch it out?
Yep, stitch it out.
Should I have done that like on water soluble thread of some sort,
No,
or we don't care?
no, because I would have, what, the crosshairs?
Yeah,
I would have done that on stabilizer.
I know,
I wouldn't
but,
have done it on my
so we're not gonna do anything with this, we're just stitching it out for the fun of it?
Yeah, because that's not the right color thread for me anyway.
Okay. I thought it would look nice, the gray on the pink.
You didn't even match the bobbin though.
Well, it was a black bob, and that's why I went with a gray top, because hoping it would be close enough.
Yeah. Now.
But apparently I was
we
wrong.
now- we
Apparently I
now-
was wrong.
We now know where it started. Do you see where it started in that design? In the middle of a swirl.
Yes, which
So
I could.
don't have to match up start-stop points on anything. Poor. Oh, that's not cool.
I was just gonna say.
Did that hit here?
Yeah, but this wasn't quite centered over the.
Oh,
It was off a
Brent.
little bit.
See,
I didn't know that. It shifted
That-
because of the thingy-mabob.
no, we didn't. Shift the-
Are you sure it wasn't the who's in the watch it?
It might actually be fine. It could just be that these hoops aren't going to be good for this. All of it has to do with the thickness of the stuff. It's not the end of the world. There's a little bit of give in there. We'll be fine.
It's all about the thickness, Becky, all about the thickness.
Y'all here, Lynn. Oh, Brent, you're gonna break something.
No,
it's a
it's
brand new
fine.
machine.
This is not a brand new machine.
Okay,
This is the one that came in on trade.
I thought this was a brand new machine.
You missed me swapping the machine out while you were here talking?
Oh, I did. Use these.
Yes. Yeah, what we're running into with this is because this is thicker.
I'm gonna hoop it in this one.
Yeah.
It takes 6 by 10, right?
Yeah.
Does the 1400 take 6 by 10? So this
Yeah,
is
the
this
14 by-
isn't the 1700. You already said goodbye to that?
Well, I figured I would just
You don't like-
troubleshoot. I think it might need an update, is what I'm thinking.
Oh my God!
I don't know, but it was a weird error message, and rather than sit here and fight with it, I just figured I'd bring this gem, which is a came in on trade.
I
You
did
could
not
take this over
even-
tomorrow at
I
a
did
very
not-
reasonable price.
I did not even know that wasn't a new machine.
I know it has I don't think it's. Well, it came in used and
Now,
yeah.
does that have the turn-off feature for the, because you didn't do it, the turn off the trim?
Okay, the one downside to the 1400, why if you have a 1400, you soon come to hate it if you do a lot of embroidery, is it does not have a jump stitch function. So by default,
It jumps.
it doesn't jump.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But could you have turned off the beginning trim? 'Cause
I have to look at that, I'm not
I
sure.
don't, and I noticed on Bev's quilt, did you know why
Yeah.
it was so tidy on the back?
Yeah, it looked good on the back, yeah.
You know why?
No.
Because she turned off the trims.
Turned off the trims.
And she brought
yeah.
her thread up.
Yeah,
Each and every time, Bev,
and it looked good.
it looked pro.
It's time consuming, but it's fun.
It looked pro. It's not that time consuming.
Bring up your thread.
Yeah.
Once you get good at it,
If you have certain ones though,
Now, just have a little pair of tweezers with you.
no, but some of the edge-to-edge that Kimberbell used to do had
Oh.
5 jump stitches in one design.
You know what I do on those though? I turn off jump stitches. I let them jump. I trim them after. I don't like having those knots on the back. I turn them off.
So,
Yeah. No, just cut them. There's micro stitches there, so they're not going to fall apart. You literally can just trim the jump stitches yourself. That's what I do. Because I don't like. Oh God, Brent. You know.
That's nothing
Okay,
to
I'm
worry
looking
about.
into this next time. It's
It's
not.
nothing to worry
it's
about.
not.
It's just
I
a-
gotta get
it's
that,
a-
that template out though. I threw it over here somewhere. Was this it? 6 by 10?
I'll tell you.
Um,
Well, this is what we're gonna use next anyway.
She's getting a kid.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? We're gonna see how wonderfully these go together.
All right, that was exciting.
That was a little nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, come here, I'm gonna show you how to do it with a regular hoop, because I am not gonna listen to that. Those things worry me. You also could have done
You
this
can't even tell.
by putting it on a sticky back washable stabilizer,
Mhm.
but I found it easier to just use my backing fabric and stick that in the hoop. Okay, see what I'm talking about, people? This is the knots I'm talking about. Look, right there. Can y'all see that knot? Looks like a dead tick or something.
I love that's the first thing you think of when you see a dead.
Does look like a dead tick. That's what I'm talking about. You turn those off. And this here too.
Didn't you show Brent how to put the needle down and needle up and cut his thread?
I did not tonight. That's my class. You got to cut the class. And then I hit you over the head if you don't do it. You know, it was funny though. It was funny. And Bev, if you're still out there, I really appreciated her. She and Wilma would get their start and stops really close, and they go, "Yeah, that's pretty close." And I go, "Yeah, but do you want to get it perfect? Do you want to know how to get it
She
right
wanna get it
on?"
perfect.
And that's why
and
your
she did-
bag took
and
8
she did,
hours.
But she did. Did you see her quilt?
Her quilt looks
She
fantastic.
goes, "Yeah, I can get it right on." I said, "Yeah, it's real easy to get it right on." And before the class was over, I mean, look, I'm so proud of her. Oh my God. Okay, so, by the way, you can also use friction pens, which is what I'm going to use right now, because
So now you're just gonna line that up?
yeah, now, well, this one is, see, already I know, oh, this pattern's too big. I can't do another
But-
6 by 10,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
what Brent
fit.
did.
But we did a 6x8 pattern.
We did.
All right, so that was gonna be my question.
Ask away.
Because you're gonna use this to line up your next pattern, correct?
I'm going to actually
But
use
if we
this 6
use-
by 6.
But we have to then match the pattern we use to the tile that you're using?
Yes,
Ah, okay, because the edge
now-
of the tile is gonna be the edge of the pattern.
yes. So see how I'm using this to know how far what part? I just go,
Yeah.
oh, I'd like it, I mean, in the real world, I would have drawn lines and blah, blah, blah.
In my world, I just eyeball
You're
it.
going to put 6 by 6 in there now, swirly 6 by 6. Actually, with this stuff, you can do so much eyeballing because you can't tell where one started and one stopped.
It's already turned into my type of product.
I know.
Mine too.
I know. So, and again, at this point, if I have a sensor pen, I am not worrying about my hooping. I'm getting it somewhere in the middle on this guy or somewhere in the middle on this guy. And then I'm using my pen to get it
So we're
right.
doing 6x6 next?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have 6x6 loaded.
Okay. So now, if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, without a pen, you have to then line up your Huzelmildingas here and here
No,
and here
it's
and
6 by
here.
10.
All right, so you're lining that crosshair up with the,
Center of this hoop.
yep, okay.
So if I were using the magnetic hoop, I would have drawn those lines on my magnetic hoop so I would know where they are.
Okay.
Then, and yes, Becky has double-sided tape on here. But, oh, it's not going to hoop very well in this one. But we'll see what it does. Gotta open up my hoop. The reason I say that, I'm going to lie and use a magnetic hoop, because see how I don't have enough on these edges?
Mhm.
The beauty of the magnetic hoop is I don't care. Oh,
It's all
I'm going
right.
to use my littler hoop.
But it's gonna have the same
Oh,
problem.
well,
It's gonna
it's
have
by
the same
the seven.
problem.
Gosh darn it.
It's gonna be the same problem. It's all right. It's also close enough to the middle that we won't have the issue.
Well, I have to eyeball it though.
Well, this is just for television, so it doesn't matter.
The beauty of the magnetic hoop, as
If you
I
come to
was
class,
saying,
if you
is
come to
I don't
class, you'll
have
see
to
how to do it
have,
properly.
I don't have to have extra fabric here and here
Yeah.
just to get it in the hoop.
Yep.
So, yeah, if I was in class, these would have lines on them.
Yeah.
And if you came to class and you didn't have lines on them, we would get lines on them.
Okay.
Because it's important. Unless you have a center pen.
See how lucky you are?
Center pen,
I'm not gonna be doing this one, no.
Weavers, Dream Machines, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's not close to being in the center.
Well, you're probably right. Hold on.
So just put,
Hold on.
I'm just gonna put the,
All right.
we're not in the center.
We're not in the center, so I'm just gonna.
Pull the fabric. That's
Yep.
another beauty of the magnetic frames, people, is you can maneuver your fabric. So this is a small machine using a magnetic frame,
Yep.
using a very sophisticated quilting system.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Did you see that? Did they even see how you did that? You
Um,
just checked the alignment.
Yeah, you wanna go to the screen here?
Eddie Shaw, yeah.
So this is actually,
I think you see.
this is gonna be on all machines, even
Yeah.
the higher end ones. But if you're, in your, whoops, I wanna go back a screen. This here shows me that right now my needle, the needle drop is in the direct center of my pattern.
And if you actually drop the needle, you could
Yeah, you can
make
see
sure it
that.
was. And the
And-
beauty of the magnetic frame is you can
Yep.
fudge your fabric pretty easily.
And then all I did is I hit this. This is gonna put me in the center right of my frame.
Did you see what happened?
And then if you, and
See
if
the
you,
crosshair?
and you'll see, if you're, from our angle, you can see where the crosshair is just about there. So all I
The
did was,
ones I drew with my tile.
yes. So all we're doing is, I was just checking the 4 points of the crosshair with this.
And it does
And-
look very good.
Yeah, and I just eyeballed it.
Looks good?
Looks good. So
Looks
we're,
real good, actually.
so we're just gonna hit OK, and we're going to,
But if you had one of these, you just have to point to
this is true.
But does that really count?
it. No.
That means
But you saw how easy this was with a magnetic frame and a
Yep.
smaller machine.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're yelling at
Am I yelling?
No, and yeah, this is really easy. You're watching it, like I
I
said.
was amazed because I said, okay, I know how I can do it on the fancy dancy machines. Now, what am I going to do when I don't have a fancy dancy machine?
And this is the
And
this
the
is
blue
the,
tiles-
this is the entry level embroidery machine that I would recommend you start at. There are less expensive machines. This is the one to start with because you can get magnetic hoops for it.
You do not need a huge hoop to make this work. Now, I don't know that I do a queen size quilt this way, people, but I certainly would do a yard of fabric like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I certainly would do bags, and I certainly would do a wall hanging, or even a lap, because if you come to class and you're using the magnetic hoop, there's a few other tricks we gave you on how to maneuver that fabric.
Yeah.
So it
So you kind of get a permanent. The blue tiles is a great tool. Like I said, you don't need the fancy machines to do it.
No, you do not.
We're-
And there's so many patents out there right now, it's unbelievable. And,
And I can tell you, if you bought this machine, because this is the one that came in on trade,
oh,
you
it's
could
still hitting the frame.
It's
I think we should
fine.
hire the foot or
You
something.
can't do that on this machine.
Oh,
And it's not the foot that's hitting it, it's the
It's the
needle.
needle.
It's the needle bar. It's just pushing down. It's not the end of the world because you've got
but
the.
once again, you don't have it lined up properly.
Yeah, we're off a little bit too. But I was just going to say that this machine, if you were interested,
He
is
doesn't.
less than $1,000. I can't give you
And
exact
still
prices.
look how good it's quilting, even though moron here. Look how far you get that over. Don't touch it now.
It's,
That's going to be my quiz next week. How many times did I use the word moron tonight?
are you allowed to use moron, or is that?
I don't know, but I know I
I'm not
did.
sure.
You know,
All the good things we used to call each other as children, we can't use as words anymore. It's kind of sad.
oh, goodness.
But
I'll
then
take
that's
that
what kind
out
of
of my
child.
vocabulary.
What kind of childhood did I have when I stop and think about that?
No, it's because I was surrounded by such people all day today. Still in my blood.
It sounds like there's a story there. Are you going to share?
Okay, can only share parts of it.
Let's start where you at work.
I was at work. I work at home.
Yeah.
And There was a certain hot tub that I
Oh, the
bought a
hot
year and a
tub.
half ago.
Here we go.
A year and a half
The
ago.
hot tub.
And it finally arrived. Now,
But isn't this the hot tub that burned down the shed?
no, that was the pool heater that
Oh,
burned
okay.
down the shed. That we had a hot tub, but every time I turned around, it needed repair, and it wasn't a cheap hot tub, and it came from Canada. So when COVID hit, there was no fixing this hot tub, and I got so mad.
How did you survive COVID without a hot tub?
Well, because I kept paying extra money
First world problems
to
right
get
there.
it to get it fixed.
No, I thought it was because she would crank up the heat in the pool.
And that's why she burnt
no,
the pool
I
down.
did, and then I burned the pool heater down.
So we can blame the pool
But-
shed on
so
COVID.
anyway, I get a call that it's finally in.
Yeah.
So we're all excited, okay? The thing comes and it sits in my driveway for a couple of days because the machine, they had to lift it off the trailer broke. I said, this thing is jinxed.
Yeah.
It takes a year and a half to get here, and I kept thinking, it better be the right color. It's all wrapped up. Couldn't even tell what it was. Now, look at that, people.
Didn't want to interrupt your story, but yeah, that looks
I know.
fantastic.
So
And the other reason I used the dark thread
obviously,
is so you can see
Brenda, I
it.
could have done this whole piece,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
that is
Yeah, if you
really
weren't
neat.
fussy cutting, you could just do like a yard of fabric and then cut it up
I know,
after.
but you can even do fussy cutting.
Yeah, after
you
but I'm
can.
just saying if you did the whole yard up first and then cut it up for
Yeah,
your pieces
but
after.
how about them apples?
That is really neat.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
Nice.
Ooh, I have to take that class.
Let's talk about the class, ladies.
But see, I could even add more stuff here with the
Right.
narrower tiles, do you see?
Yeah.
Just moving this fabric over.
Yeah.
So
On
you
a,
have another size pattern.
that matches,
Matches.
these are two different sizes.
Yeah, that's what's
Right,
interesting.
that's what I'm
That's what
saying.
I'm fascinated by.
So the next one, would it be like a long, skinny one?
Yeah, that's probably what I would use.
That's what I'm fascinated by this because you can't tell that it's two different sizes
Those
because
are
it's scaled
two
the same.
different sizes.
But they scale it the same, so you
The
can't tell.
scale is the same.
That's the
And
magic.
look at,
That is magic.
it
I-
is magic, and you saw how easy it was to line it up. Without any bells and whistles.
Oh yeah,
Brent.
this is a real basic machine. There was no.
Isn't,
fancy
isn't
tools.
that
Yes.
crazy?
So
Yeah.
when is your class?
Yeah, really nice.
Blue Tiles class is Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
And I
and
have
then-
a lot of prep work to do because I'm going to make them do a custom
Yeah, so we
thing.
have it on
Oh,
Tuesday,
yes, she is.
and then
I'm
we.
taking it up a notch, Brent.
Okay,
They're going to come away with,
that's why they want to
Yeah.
come here.
yeah.
So if you're interested, sign up sooner than later because we don't have anybody signed up for Blue Tiles by the end of the day Friday. We're probably going to cancel the
Well, you
Tuesday.
got to because I can't be ready.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. We're going to cancel it, but there is a Saturday Blue Tiles as well. So if you're
A
interested, in this,
following Saturday,
a fall,
not this
yes,
Saturday.
it's not the 9th, it's the 23rd.
See,
So-
honey? Look.
So sign up if you want to learn how to use Blue Tiles.
Oh, I threw it your way.
So
But
all
you-
that being
See
said,
that? You just keep building. No math.
It is magic.
There's no math.
can you guess what time it is?
No. And I just get excited when
I
I, figure
know.
something out and I
There
go,
is no math.
"Whoa!"
So all those numbers I told you about our hoop sizes don't matter because there's no
Yeah.
math.
Okay, so talk about the class. You said there was a discount.
Oh, if you attend the class,
You will get a discount off the Blue Tiles if you buy it after the class,
or if you buy, well,
or if you buy it for the class.
during the class,
Yes.
you will get a discount. If you come in and say, Becky, I brought in this little baby blanket. I want you to show me how to use blue tiles on it. I can. It's that
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
You can bring me in, don't bring me in this.
Yeah, something
okay,
giant.
guys? In class, the designs you will use will not be yours to own. But if you say, I really want to grill this placemat or this table runner, I really want to do this project, come in, get the blue tiles
Yeah.
first.
And is
And,
it full?
and then you can actually work on that project if you want.
Yep.
But I will be prepared for playing.
Yes.
I will have a project for playing.
So all that being said,
It's that easy.
we're gonna have to hold off and wait till next week to hear the hot tub story because it is
Oh!
20 after 7.
Oh, well, I got to tell you this.
Okay, well,
There's
I
one
will-
last thing. So I go out, and this thing is so deep. I'm going to need a snorkel. I'm sitting on, there's no water in it yet because there's another problem. But I'm sitting on the seat, and the headrest is down here, and I'm like, the top of the tub, you can't even see me.
That's a good.
I'm like, I need a booster seat or a snorkel. I cannot, if the water's up to where it's supposed to be, I'm under it.
If Becky doesn't show up for a class, we know where she is in the water.
It's
Now-
got some nice looking jets, that's all I can say.
Is it the right color?
It is the right color.
Okay.
But I was nasty. I went out and I went, oh, hold everything. It's supposed to be blue. The guy's like, no.
You are nasty.
Anyway, on that bombshell,
Short and mean.
thanks for joining us for another evening of Shenanigans.
Yes, we
with
do
Brent
pull
and
up the
Becky.
bobbins there, Jane. Always, always, always.
Join us again next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another fantastic and enlightening episode of Shenanigans
Whatever it is.
with Becky and Brent.
Oh, my God.